Good morning, people of Midlothian and beyond. April trekker walk time. We'll be meeting at the top car park in Bonaly Country Park at 10 AM on Wednesday the 29th of April for a 6-mile trek around Bonaly, past the 3 reservoirs, Torduff, Dean and Bonaly Reservoir. As I said, it should be 6 miles. Now, we have done this trek before, but there'll be a little bit of a different path on it. And last time I filmed going around here, I went anti-clockwise. I went the easy way first. So what I'll do is I'll go up the hill first, up to Bonaly this time, so you can see it from another angle. So we'll head up the hill first. So yeah, either way we go actually, there's a hill. If we go around that way, it's more of a gradual hill, a bit longer. Head straight up and it's a bit more of a climb. Shorter, but more of a climb. So let's go. So there is a sign up that you can make a donation to the car park at Bonaly Country Park. And there's a ticket, a card machine there. But it is, at the moment, entirely up to you. So I'm going in a clockwise direction today. We've actually done most of this walk before, maybe in 2024. So I thought I'll go around the other way this time. But as you rise out of Bonaly Car Park, you begin to see the Forth in the distance, and Edinburgh Castle just there. However, going this way, the start's a bit more of a hill. But it's a good exercise. And here we are coming up to our first reservoir. Going in a clockwise direction anyway. You can see the Earth Dam here. And we'll see the reservoir when we get round this little bend. And here we go, Bonaly Reservoir. In the wind. I can see somebody camping in the trees over there. So Bonaly Reservoir was completed in 1853. It's a small mid-altitude reservoir, as it's known, and it's no longer part of the drinking water system for Edinburgh. It's situated on the northwest slope of Caplaw Hill up there, and it's 4.8 metres deep. There we go. Bonaly Reservoir. 1 down, 2 to go. But while we're up here, oh, what a difference, what a difference from that spot there just to here with the wind. There is no wind here. Let's go into the woods though, it's always good fun. Today's forecast was for like 70% chance rain, not heavy though. 7 degrees, but I just said mild winds. However, it just shows you, it's not strong, those aren't strong winds. But it's windy once you get up here. But I'll just chill out here for a minute and watch the trees swaying. Okay, let us continue our journey on our 3 reservoir trekker trek. A bit muddy here. Not too bad though. And we're back out the other side with hee-haw wind around here. Hee-haw wind and a great view. There's Arthur's Seat there. Let us trek on. So if you're coming along on a trekker walk, what should you bring? You should bring waterproofs for the changing weather that we have here in Scotland. You should bring decent walking shoes because we're going for various surfaces, roads, paths. This one, a dirt track. If it's raining, we'll be much muddier. We'll go over gravel paths, along paths with tree roots. Bring water. Bring a snack with you so you can have some energy if you need it. When we do the trekker walks, we just go around. We'll stop at a few places to take in the view, but we won't stop for lunch or anything. And that's it. Trekker walks are longer than our weekly health walks, this one being 6 miles and also more off the beaten path, if you like. But not too far from Midlothian. So we get to discover lots of great little walks that are close by. And that's what you need if you're coming along on a trekker walk. So remember, we're meeting at the top car park at Bonaly Country Park, and we'll leave at 10 AM. Don't know if you can see over there. You can see Threepmuir and Harlow reservoirs over there. We're going to head round the side of the hill, from the side of Harbour Hill, and down towards those trees over there. Then come back along this way. You can see Clubby Dean Reservoir through those trees there. So we'll go back that way. And it looks like the rain is a-coming. There's a sort of mist in the air. It's just getting heavier as I go along here, so I shall have a quick pit stop and get a waterproof on. Yeah, it looks like there's rain coming from that over the hill there. Might not be too heavy. We hope. I had a sheep wander up, don't know if you can see him down there, watching what I was up to. So try to figure out, you know, what is that Egypt doing? So we're walking along the path. This is called the quad track, this path, on the side of Harbour Hill. And you may think, well, where's the harbour? That's the way down there, at least. Yeah, where's the harbour? Why is it called Harbour Hill? And the names of the hills are sort of derived. A lot of the hills' names are derived from sort of older languages like Cumbric and Gaelic, or from farms that they're based upon, like Turnhouse Hill, Turnhouse Farm. So this is Harbour Hill. There's not a harbour in sight, but now let me get this word right, etymological roots. Harbour could have meant, in hill walking context, sheltered nature of the slopes, or a specific historical site at the base. So there you go. I would say it's maybe shelter because you're halfway down the hill, walking along, and you can see the sheep here. They are sheltered. That's why they're all hanging about here. So there you go, Harbour Hill. It's not because at one time there was a harbour. It's just because of shelter. They're all listening. All the sheep have learned something new, thank you, no problem. And the quad track, as I was mentioning about, you know, different paths, the quad track is quite a tricky one sometimes because it's quite routed by bikes, tyres and quads, and so you've got to be careful walking along this one. And as we're walking along here, you get a great view of Threepmuir, Harlow, Reservoirs down there, just beside Black Hill. And remember folks, it is lambing season, so if you're coming up here with your dogs, keep them on a lead. I've seen quite a few lambs, and obviously the deer we saw at the start, the young deer. So yeah, keep your dogs on a leash if you're in the Penland Hills. Right, so we've done Bonaly, Reservoir. Now we're heading down. We'll head down here, down the path, then we'll go down to the trees over there, and then we'll head across. A nice little leisurely loop. So in last month's Trek and Walk, we went up Bell's Hill. So we came up here and we went up to the top of Bell's Hill there. That's where, up from Flotterston, past Glencourse Reservoir and up there and back. So we've sort of doing the opposite side for this one. Woo! I think some of the sheep have had a very hot Indian curry last night going along this path. Oh dear. So just in case you want to join the dots with what hills where, If we just head down here, so we've come along the quad track down the side of Harbour Hill, and we're going to head this way. But if we just pop back here to the gate, so we're up, last check of walk, we were up Bells Hill up there. Down there, that's Glencore's Reservoir. And down here, you've got the Maiden's Clue. So there you go, last trek of walk, we come up here, went up there and around and back. This time, we've gone from the other side of the hills, Bonaly Country Park, and we're coming up here and we're heading back down that way. So that's, if you've ever wondered, you know, how far it is across, that's how it all fits together, basically. Right, back on our route. And as per usual, I stuck the waterproof on. Now the clouds are clearing up a bit and it's getting too warm. Although I can still feel a few bits of rain, so I might just keep it on and swear it out. So the path coming down here is a wee bit muddier and uneven. If it's been a dry couple of days before the walk, then it'll be nice and dry-ish. But if it's raining, it will be muddy. So wear your sensible shoes. So down this part, I've told this story many times, but just in case you're new, this was once the Mullaney Rifle Range, where the army practiced their shooting. Hey! And way back in, I think it was 1911, around about that time, a Mr. Lyle, a local resident, wrote to the Minister of War to complain that it was dangerous, because even back then people used to walk regularly in the hills here. And while they're out walking in this part, down here, there's soldiers over here practicing their rifling skills. And then World War I broke out, so it remained a rifle range. And then World War II, and it wasn't actually decommissioned until 1985. When they stopped shooting, I don't know, but it was decommissioned in 1985. You can see that up there. Cool. And obviously the rifle range was moved over the hill to a much safer place where you were less likely to get shot if you were out for a wee wander on a Sunday afternoon. So yeah, Mullaney Rifle Range. There is, can't see it from here, there is one sort of mound still remaining over there. Obviously there were targets against, but now you're safe to walk down here. The only thing you might get hit with is somebody on their mountain bike. Curry. That's what some of those sheep back there must have had last night. And the rain is on. Oh, I can see people. This is a nice wall. This is a nice, well kept wall down here. Well maintained. So just to get our bearings again, where we've come from, those trees up there, that's where Bonaly Reservoir is. So we've walked up to there and we've come around and we've come across the side of Harbour Hill, back down. Now we're heading to Clibby So we'll walk down this path down to Harlow Road, but I think what I'll do today, since it's raining, I think I'll walk down the woods. Which is at the side of the path, it's not too far off. I can already see a major flaw in my plan of walking through the woods. And there it is there. So I'll need to go back on the path. There you go, it's that drain system there, bringing the water down along there. Back on the path. This path is quite a sort of stony path here, so it's quite uneven when you're walking along here. And I'm back in the woods. Back in the woods. A bit more sheltered from the wind in here. Not that it's like really windy, but it was almost sleet that was falling there, so it got quite cold. And then you can see the power of the wind when it decides to get a bit stronger. I mean, look at the size of that. The size of that stone that's in there. So don't forget, we also have weekly health walks in Midlothian. We have walks in most of the towns. You can find out more about them if you go on the Midlothian Council website, www.midlothian.gov.uk. If you go into sport and leisure and you look for well-being, pop in there and you'll find the health walks information. All our health walks are free. A health walk lasts maybe an hour. A lot of our walks had 2 levels, if we can manage. A faster walk and a slower walk. And they're all led by Walking Scotland volunteer walk leaders. And getting out to a walk is great. Exercise, great to be out in the fresh air. Great to get out into local green spaces because it's good for your mental health. But we also have lots of other activities in our Aging Well programme as well. So it's just about getting out. And I was speaking to someone yesterday, and the hardest thing for a lot of people is making that first step. Getting out and going to something and joining in for the first time. But once you do it, you realise that you should have done it sooner. So if you're sitting there thinking, maybe next week, don't think maybe next week, just get up and get out and go and get involved. You won't regret it. So I'm still walking down the woods here, but we're still by the path. We're just going to go and look at this nice, lovely colour in this field. See, I'm getting distracted. It's good to get distracted when you're on a walk. So I'm taking the path through the woods because it's actually an easier path underfoot than the little road at the side, especially at the top. But you can go either way. Let's go back out onto the road here. It's a bit easier here. But up the top bit is quite rocky, if you like. And there's a dirt path that follows this just in the woods there, down. And you do come in, you come out and back in at certain points. So yeah, just in case you're using this video to go around this walk, you can come up to, you'll see this big boulder actually. This big boulder here, just follow the path in and go up the woods instead of the road. Although we've still got a wee bit to go down to the bottom. Yeah, so if you're doing this walk and you decide to do it in the other direction, you would head up this way, then up to Harbour Hill and across to Bonaly. And as I said, up there where that big rock is, big stone, you can just nip into the woods and walk up that way, a wee bit better underfoot. So we come out on Harlaw Road. So if you follow that road all the way around there, you'll get to Harlaw Reservoir. Now, having consulted the map quickly there, I realised that we came down the road where the line of the trees there are, and out onto the road. But I probably should have come down this way, through the trees and down here. Takes us to the same place. But that is another way. Whichever direction you go, and you can come through the trees and down this path, or go up and through. I was on automatic pilot, or as some people like to say, not paying attention. They both run parallel. So we came down along that line of trees, and this comes down here. As for the path itself, this one's much easier. It could be muddier in the rain, but we'll see. We'll see what happens on the day. It takes us to the same place, whether we're coming this way or going that way. And just in here, there's some nice, a little holiday cottage. In case anyone's interested. Scan the barcode, or the QR code, sorry. This is mid Kinleith. And if you decided you wanted to go for a bit of a longer jaunt, you can head down the pathway this way down to Curry and down to Water of Leith. That's the thing when you're out here in the sticks, like some witches' capes stuck in a tree. Keep to the path. And spring is springing into action. More colours appearing. And we're now heading towards Clubbeydene Reservoir. And I'm going to make another pit stop, get this waterproof off because I'm roasting. So up there, the line of trees up there, that's where we went first. We're at Bonaly Reservoirs behind there. And we were looking down, we couldn't see Clubbeydene because these trees are in front of it here. So today's the perfect example of bringing the right gear with you. It's been windy, it's sort of mild heat-wise. We've had a bit of sleet, there's been muddy paths, rocky paths, woody paths, paths with tree roots. So you've got to be prepared for it all. Bring a hat and gloves as well, just in case it snows, even at this time of year, as we all witnessed on Easter Sunday when we went back into the winter mode with the snow. Now there are two dogs there, both off. I mean, there's signs everywhere, keep your dog on a lead, but. So here we go, nearly at the other end of Clubbeydene. Constructed in the 1850s, like most of the reservoirs around these parts. A couple of people wild camping over there. Originally built to supply drinking water, but today it's mostly recreational activities, including walking and fishing. And it's stocked with brown and rainbow trout. And in the summer you can actually come up here to a little coffee shop at the weekends, which is just part of this little bungalow there. So last time we came up here, we came up the road, we followed the road up round the side of Tordorf Reservoir. This time we're going to come over here and go along the hill above Tordorf Reservoir. This is almost becoming a drinking game. How many times is he going to say reservoir? And here we go. An excellent view of Tordorf Reservoir from above. Carved out by the Ice Age. So last time we did this walk, we came up the side, the road up the side, and round and up. This time we're just going to go around the hill and down. Great view though from here. So Tordorf Reservoir is quite deep, it's 72 feet deep. Built in 1851, and it holds 110 million gallons of water. Fishing is not permitted in Tordorf Reservoir, and swimming is discouraged due to the depth. And of course it was created to supply drinking water to Edinburgh. Oh, there's a young deer on the run. Now, here's the thing. There are people with dogs round there. And the dogs, of course, aren't on a leash. And there's dogs chasing that. This is why your dogs should be on a lead. These two dogs are chasing that deer. I can hear someone shouting on them. Way over in the distance. Now I've gone through umpteen gates. Every gate has a warning on it. I've passed at least 10 or 12 dog walkers. Not one of them had their dog on a lead. And there's a perfect example of why your dog should be on a lead. They're chasing that young deer. I can hear the owners whistling for them. So if you're up here, just put your dog on a lead. It's a simple thing to do. Well, they've stopped whistling, so hopefully the dogs have returned to them. Yeah, so it's pretty annoying. It's pretty annoying, there's signs everywhere. It's quite clear. Keep your dog on a lead, under control. There's lambs, there's wildlife, deer, and there's a perfect example, two dogs chasing a deer, young deer. And hear the owners whistling away there. But it must have chased it quite a bit because I passed them over at the gate and they were going past me. The dogs must have run down, started chasing it in this direction, and then it's turned around, chased it back up and over that way. You know. As someone, and everybody that knows me will know these stories, as someone who's been bitten multiple times by dogs, not on their leads. It's just a simple thing to do, to respect the parks and the countryside and other people and the wildlife. If you want your dog to run free, take it somewhere like one of the dog runs. There's plenty of them around Edinburgh and Midlothian now. Or go find a field that's fenced off, that's got nothing in it. Anywho, we're going up round the side of Tordoff Reservoir. I can't see it now because we're on the side of the hill, but you get a different view. You get a different view of things from over here. We're nearly there. So remember, this walk is 6 miles. We're up and down. It's more of a gradual climb. Depends which way you go. If we come round this way first, it's a gradual climb and down. If we go clockwise, it's a wee bit steeper, but then it's a lot of downhill after that. So, we shall see. Now, walking down this path, we've got this wall here. Why is this wall here? Somebody tell me. Although it'll keep me awake at night. That it used to be was there a house here? Some sort of bothy farmhouse or something? Tell me. Let me know. Or I'll not be able to get sleep. Tossing and turning. Wondering what was there. Yeah, so last time we did this walk, we walked up this way. This time we came across the top. And here we are at the other side of Tordoff. Und it's windy. Please keep dogs on a short lead or close at heel to avoid disturbing ground nesting birds and separating sheep from their lambs. But you can only keep your dog close at heel if it's going to obey you, not if it's going to run off and chase things. As I said, just past another couple, dog not on a lead. Now they may put it on a lead when they get to the fields over there, but there's plenty of signs, people. And down here we've got the llamas, alpacas. I can still hear those. They're still whistling for those dogs, same dogs. I'm going to keep my camera on, pointing up that way. Actually, there's 3 of them. So join myself and Stuart on the 29th of April, Upper Car Park at Bonaly Country Park. We're leaving at 10 AM, 6 mile, 3 reservoir walk, Tordorf Reservoir, Clubby Reservoir, Bonaly Reservoir. Nice little walk in the countryside, by the reservoirs. Hopefully see you there. Woo! A little quick update. When I got back to the car park, there was a couple of rangers in the car park, so I reported the incident to them. So it has been reported, in case anybody's wondering.